All right, welcome everybody. Happy Monday. So today is our flow hacks for the low back. And tonight we are specifically focusing on the psoas muscle. There were some very specific questions that I got. Actually, it's almost 2 weeks ago now because it was right after we had the class just before booty camp started that I got these questions about doing stuff for the low back, and I'd already planned the booty camp. So we are going to do a very, very different class tonight. Normally what we do, when we start out standing, we kind of go through moves and basic workout, and then we tack things on at the end to target certain target areas of concern when we're really looking at certain things. But because tonight we are working on the psoas muscle, we're going to change things up a bit. The psoas muscle is one of these muscles, and it starts kind of here at your lower lumbar, and it's a very internal muscle, and it connects to the hips. It actually is the only muscle that we have that goes from the back to the legs and connects on the inside of the pelvis, where all of our glute muscles come in, and especially the muscles from our lower legs, which is why it can be a very problematic muscle when we're trying to do stuff. It's internal. This is not one of our superficial muscles like our biceps or our glutes and our quads that we can really touch from the outside. It's very much right along the spine and on the inside of our hips. So you can feel it, but you can't really touch it. So as a result of that, this is a muscle we really need to work with very gently as we go through. So one of the things I said tonight was to have our mat and to have a kitchen chair available to us to be able to do some of our movements. And we're actually going to change things up, and we are going to start on the floor. And we're going to move from the floor to the standing. We're really going to coax this muscle out so we can feel it and connect to it. Since we can't physically press on it to get that connection, we have to start in a little bit of a different way. So we're actually going to start laying down, and if you have that kitchen chair available, that's great, but I will show you, if you don't, what you can do instead. So as promised, that what I call the swimming stretch, because you're kind of doing this, we are now going to do this standing. So this is another big one that we're going to do standing up now that we've done it warmed up on the floor. Now we do want to make sure we have our good positioning. Toes underneath those feet, both sets of toes pointing at midnight, straight forward. Soften those knees, belly button to spine. So now we are standing, so we want to really do rounding that tailbone. Believe it or not, this belly button to spine movement is part of activating that psoas. And this arch release, which we're going to do in a bit, is also going to be super important to this. But we want to warm up this side to side motion next. So let's start with our hands on our hips because it's a little easier to feel. Now what you're going to do is you're going to crunch. So it's a side crunch and you're lifting the hip. I'll turn to the side for a second. That is going to lift my heel. But you want it to initiate here. What I don't want is you guys to go lift my heel to push my hip up. Does that make sense? So that's why I want the hands here on the hips so we can feel that. We're going to start on the left. So starting on everyone's left. Inhale. Make sure the shoulders are back. And on your exhale, crunch that left side. Good. You should feel that lifting through here. That's working that muscle. Inhale, hold. And on your exhale, go back to flat feet. Other side. Remember, these muscles and the ones you can't feel with your hand are the ones working. Inhale. Right crunch, exhale. Inhale, hold. Exhale, drop that heel. One more super slow with our breath. Inhale. Side crunch, exhale. Inhale. And drop it on the exhale. Right side, last time. Inhale. Exhale, side crunch. Inhale, hold. And drop it on the exhale. Now we're going to add to that stretching by adding our hands in. We'll do it nice and slow. Remember, tuck that tailbone. It's not a hard tuck. It doesn't have to be as hard as normal, but tuck that tailbone. Keep that back rounded. Pull those shoulders tight. Here we go. Starting on the left. Inhale. crunch the left. So you're pulling the left elbow down, lifting the left hip. Inhale, hold. Back to neutral on the exhale. To the right, inhale. Crunch left. Inhale. Neutral on the exhale. Good. Inhale. One more time, super slow. Exhale, crunch left. Inhale. Back to neutral on your exhale. Inhale. Crunch right. Exhaling. Inhale. Back to neutral. Now we're going to do the same thing we did laying down, which is we're going to switch right to left. Keep that nice tuck. Pull the shoulders back. And here we go. Breathe normally. Crunch and crunch. Crunch. That's 2. Crunch. That's 3. Crunch. That's 4. Crunch. That's 5. Super slow dancing. Crunch. That's 6. Crunch. That's 7. Crunch. 8. And our bonus, one more crunch to our left and back to neutral. Nice job. Now you guys may really feel warm in your hips. I know I do. I can really feel that. The next, are there any questions that you guys have? I know there was a lot of kind of different and new stuff in the class tonight. Any questions I can answer real quick? Just remember, if you can remute yourself after you ask the question so I don't echo, that'd be great.
Nope, no questions from me.
Awesome. I guess that means you're either totally confused or you understand everything, which either one is fine. You know how to get a hold of me. Don't forget, next week is the final Monday freebie. So invite your friends. We're going to just do a straight up basic, although I have been thinking about doing the second half of the workout. So if you guys would rather do a freebie of primary back stretch and then start with lunges and go forward, probably only 4 reps each, let me know because I've kind of been considering that as well. So in the meantime,
I would like that.
Thank you guys so much. I would love to do that. And next week is our freebie. So I will see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.